What's up, fellas? In today's video, we're going to be talking about some LeBron James, Mickey Mouse, Disney World ring stuff. Every now and then, there's something that just really riles me up that I really just feel the need to rant about. And today's video is that video. So if you're looking for consistent content similar to this is a great place to be. If you're new here, by the way, what's up? My name is Tucker. I upload NBA stuff on this channel twice a day, every single day. So it's a great place to be. As I said, if you're looking for NBA stuff all the time, then this is an awesome channel to take a look at. You can leave a like rating on the videos as well, and you can check me out at various socials in a link tree down in the description below. But I don't want to take too much time because I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready for this. So, LeBron James, Mickey Mouse ring, Disney World, the Lakers, blah, blah, blah. So essentially the argument being made here is that the title that the LA Lakers won last year is not as valuable, does not count the same as some other NBA titles. And people have, tried to do this with a lot of different titles throughout NBA history. The more recent one outside of the Lakers one, of course, is, Kevin Durant's titles with the Golden State Warriors. People try to say that those don't mean anything. And, that is something that I don't really want to get into today. It's just an example of, how people like to devalue certain titles. And I think that a lot of times it has more to do with specific players than it does, specific circumstances. But in this particular circumstance, people are basically saying that because of the way the bubble was set up, because of the fact that a lot of teams, quite frankly, once they really got into the bubble experience, didn't want to be there anymore. And they wanted to go home. And they didn't want any part of playing in that postseason. And I think the most obvious example there is the LA Clippers and how their season ended. And the fact that, it wasn't the most difficult run to the finals of all time for the Lakers. The team that they faced in the conference finals was not the team most people expected. They never got there, Clippers-Lakers matchup. And then they get to the finals and the Heat have been playing extremely well and Dragic gets hurt, pretty soon in that series. Bam misses some games. And all of a sudden it's like, the Lakers are basically just walking into a title. But here's my thing. And here's what really irritates me, because I think a lot of the conversation around this is based around the fact that the circumstances were wildly different and all that stuff. Every other team that the Lakers played was dealing with the exact same circumstances, though, right? Like, there were teams that didn't want to be there. There were teams that, had half a foot in the door. There were teams that, were locked in and trying to play really well, but they just weren't as good, right? So why is it fair to take away the value of this title from the Lakers if everybody was dealing with the same circumstances? It's not like, all these other teams were dealing with these circumstances, then the Lakers just showed up and everything was fine, right? That to me just immediately is a flawed argument, because everybody is working within the same context. Everybody's playing in the bubble. Everybody's in Disney World. Everybody's dealing with all these different things. And the Lakers dealt with them the best, and that's why they won the title. And it's still basketball. You still have to score more points than the other team to win the game. And the Lakers did that more than any other team, and that's why they win the title. That is the whole premise of winning the title, is you beat every team in front of you and you win. Whether it's in a local park or Disney World or it's the Staples Center, it doesn't matter. You play better basketball than the other team and you win. Now, the other argument here is that, and this happens all the time, all the time. You can go back to the Raptors title in 2019, when the Warriors had some guys get hurt in the finals. You can go back to when the Warriors were winning titles and they were remarkably healthy in the beginning of, the pre-KD era Warriors were remarkably healthy compared to other teams. They never really suffered significant injuries, and of course that caught up to them later. You can talk about all of those different things. And everybody likes to bring up, well, if this guy didn't get hurt, this would be different. If this guy didn't get hurt, this would be different. They wouldn't have won the title here. They wouldn't have won the title here. And I have made those arguments in the past. I've talked about how I thought that the Houston Rockets were a better team in the year that they won 65 games, and they would have gone to the finals. They would have won the title if Chris Paul had never got hurt in the Western Conference Finals. I've made that argument before, but I've never devalued what the Warriors did. I never talked about how the Warriors didn't earn their title, or that their title, just didn't mean as much. I never said that. That's my issue. And people made the same case for this Lakers team, as different players got hurt along the way. You can't do anything about that. Again, it's about the basketball. What are the Lakers supposed to do? You go to the finals and Goran Dragic gets hurt. What are the Lakers supposed to be like? Okay, you know what, AD, you can't play the first half of this game. We got to even it out. Like, all they can do is play against the teams that they have to play against, because that's just, the other team's advanced. It's not their fault they didn't play the Clippers. And then play against the players that are on the floor. It's not their fault that Goran Dragic got hurt. You know what I mean? So, that argument also makes absolutely zero sense to me, because if you really want to follow that thread, you can go back throughout every single season of NBA history and make a case that one team or another would have been significantly better and they would have changed the potential postseason run of this team or that team and made things more difficult. Potentially they're more tired if this guy didn't get hurt, this guy didn't sprain his ankle, this guy didn't do this, and this. It's part of it. The injury stuff is part of it. And it's unfortunate because, you know, especially these like crazy, weird fluke injuries like Gordon Hayward, you know, breaking his ankle an hour into his Celtics debut and what was probably going to be the best Boston team. Like, yeah, those things happen and it's unfortunate, but whether it be that or the context of the bubble, none of those things devalue rings, in my opinion. You know, like it's not like anybody cheated. It's not like anybody's using steroids. It's not like any of the refs are fixing the games. Like they went out there, they played basketball against the other guys that the other team put on the basketball court, and that was it. And that's all that you can do. So if you're one of those people, and I say it as a joke sometimes, right? But if you're one of those people that legitimately wants to make a case about a Mickey Mouse ring or the fact that it doesn't count because it's in Disney World and LeBron actually doesn't, you know, have as many titles as he does, I have a problem with that. I have a huge issue with that because nothing about the argument makes sense. And if you want to call into question that title, then every single title in league history is called into question because the basis of that argument is injuries, which again happen every single year, and the context, the overall context of that title, which every single title has context. When we look back at the 2019 title 10 years from now, people are going to talk about the injuries. People are going to talk about, you know, the shot that Kawhi barely made to get them to the conference finals in the first place. You can go back to any of the Golden State stuff. People are going to talk about, oh, the cap spike that got them KD or the fact that they were remarkably healthy. You can go back to, you know, some Boston Celtics, finals appearances and the title in 2008 where just crazy, all these different events that had to come together for them to build those teams. If you want to make the case that the 2020 NBA title for the LA Lakers was any less valuable or any less significant than any other title in NBA history, then you are devaluing and you are making that exact same argument for every single title in NBA history because there are specific circumstances, there are things that happen that lead certain teams to winning the title, but at the end of the day, every team has to do the same thing. They have to go out there, they have to play the teams they're playing, they have to play against the players they're playing, and they have to play better basketball for 48 minutes, 4 times in the finals in order to win the game and in order to win the title. And that's all it comes down to. So don't come at me with this argument that somehow it's worth less because then again, you are devaluing every single title in league history. And I would imagine that most fans have had one of their teams win a title, and that would mean you're devaluing your own as well. So let's just go ahead and move on from the entire argument as a whole. Like whether it's the KD stuff, the Raptors title, any LeBron title, why can't we just give people credit? Why can't we just say, you know what? They played extremely well. They fought through adversity of their own. And yes, maybe the other team had more, negative things happen to them throughout the season, but they did what they had to do as a team in order to win the title. And let's just give them credit. Too often we're trying to, cut people down and cut teams down and cut down their accomplishments, celebrate that accomplishment, and then look forward to more. There's no reason to continue to try and devalue these things with this Mickey Mouse thing. It's just, I'm over it. But yeah, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I thank you all very much for watching. Once again, as I said at the beginning, my name is Tucker. You can check out the NBA, or you can check out this channel for consistent NBA content twice a day, every day, as I said at the beginning. You can check out the link tree in the description for all of my socials, and you can like the video as well to help me out and get the video out to more people on YouTube. With all those things said, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you all next time.